Welcome to the Weather Guru's live assessment of the winter storm Kenon that's making its way and just forming here that's impacting the extreme northeastern coast of the United States. And I want to first start with the ensemble models here. And I want to tell you that first of all, that this system is going to be the result of a deepening low pressure off the coast, the Carolina coast, and it's going to continue to make its way northward here. And it's supposed to impact the benchmark or just east of the benchmark. It's not going to go right over the benchmark, but it's going to be a deepening low pressure system, bringing that nor'easterly flow here and that's going to bring in some snow. So first of all, we're going to be looking at that here. I just want to show you the GFS model currently here. The run has it going. Let's see here. Let's put it in motion. And the run has it going right through here. The low pressure coming in, developing later on into late Friday night into Saturday morning, and then pushes quickly off the coast. A quick burst of snow there, as you can see here, and then cold air rushing in behind in northwest winds, as typical of a northeaster here. Coming in there, as you can see the ensemble models here. That's the GFS model. Now, the European model has it a little bit different, but it has it further out to sea. However, some people are predicting 12 inches of snow anywhere north of New York City, from Boston, Connecticut, Vermont, the Green Mountains and White Mountains, and on into Maine. That seems to be the sweet spot for this system. Now, if you live in the interior west of I-95, you could see a coating to 1 inch of snow or 2 inches of snow. That's about it. It's just going to be a wind event primarily for a lot of people. It's possible that this system could possibly miss all of us here. As you can see, there is some down snow showers downwind of Lake Erie and Ontario here that's pushing and propagating through. But this is the current setup here, our current surface map courtesy of weather.com. As you can see, we have high pressure dominating all across the country, sparking off some snow showers here. This has been the part of the ridge in the western part of the country here. As you can see here, we have the ridge flow. We have a zonal flow here going here from west to east. So we have a ridge in the west and a deepening trough here, courtesy of a cold front that's coming through right now. So this is not even associated with the nor'easter that's going to develop right in here. That's going to be later on tonight, and that's going to ride up the coast like this. Supposedly, this is what the GFS says. Now the European model has it more like this, coming across and dumping snow on the extreme coastal sections, anywhere from Norfolk, Virginia, through the Delmarva, up through the Northeast. Now, there is another scenario where this low pressure could develop late out here and actually miss the whole coast together. And so you only have a little bit of snow, say on Martha's Vineyard and northward, maybe about 3 to 6 inches worth. That's the scenario that I'm going with. I think it's going to miss the coast completely, and we're going to get just a little bit of snow here. Let me show you. I got the wrong one here. Let me give you a little bit of this. This is the scenario we're going to see here. As you can see, this is the GFS, but let me show you the ensemble model here. This is the ensemble model here, the global model we're going to see here, and I'm going to show you the differences here. We'll put that in motion here. And as you can see, you still have that trough coming across it. It's still developing here. Let me show you. There's the low pressure right there, and you can see it coming across there, but it has it developing later in the pattern here. As you can see from here, the pattern comes in, the low pressure develops around the Carolinas, but you can see it moves further away from the coast, and it has Boston and New England getting the majority of the snow sometime late Saturday afternoon, and then quickly racing off to Newfoundland and the Canadian Maritimes, followed by a rush of cold air. So that's a more believable pattern here. And I want to switch to the other dynamic here, if I can here. We're going to switch. We're going to switch. We're going to switch to the. We're going to switch to the Viper radar here. I want to show you on Viper our current forecast conditions here. As you can see here, whatever the is going to stick all around here. It's going to stick temperatures in the 20s and 30s, and they're only going to be falling here. We already have light snow here from Pittsburgh and the Laurel Highlands up through the Alleghenies, and that snow is going to continue to propagate eastward here, as you can see. But this snowfall here is going to be limited in nature because it's only going our third graphic here, the radar scope. We can see that so far the country part of the country is clear that we have here. There's not much going on in the middle of the country, not much going on in many of the other areas of the country here. As you can see, there is just plenty of snow reports already from Chicago. Chicago picked up an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow along downwind, and temperatures have been steady, holding reports of snow apparently right now, and temperatures have been holding steady close into the teens. They'll fall back into the single digits, and brutal wind chills in Minneapolis up north here. And see, the cold air is in place here, and we can show you some of the radar feed here. It's currently lightly snowing in Kentucky, down through Nashville, and that's pretty much the only precipitation that we have with this system, as you can see. According to the current surface radar map, that lines up there. So this winter storm, what you can expect is you can expect less snow and more wind here, according to the models here. Okay. Now like I said, the GFS is one of the more reliable models here, but this is the issue that we run in with the GFS is, like I said, since this cold air that's in place is a shallow cold air, meaning that there's not much cold air aloft. It's just not going to be a full blown system as we think a snowmaker, even for the East Coast on the I-95 coast. I think you get maybe 3 to 5 inches out of this here. There it is right there. And I don't think you're going to get that much more out of this system here, unfortunately, because of the way that the system is designed. If you go back here, you go back to the model runs here, and we're trying to pinpoint. None of this is perfect, but you can look and see. I can show you the GFS model here. This is the precipitation rate. This is average 6. There's the low pressure system right there. You can see it bottoming out. Okay. Now watch as it rides along the coast here. You can see that it's a quick moving system. So that means that a lot of the people does not going to get a lot of snow here. We can just pause it right there. You can see here, okay? Look at the angle of it coming up along the coast here. Look at this angle here, okay? That means that yes, there will be northeast winds back propagating here, but my thing is it's going to be the low pressure is going to be further out east, okay, of the Euro and the GFS right now, and that run is going to show you tomorrow. They're going to show you tomorrow on your television screens with whether you watch Weather Channel, Weather Nation, AccuWeather, or your local weather guy like me on YouTube. This low pressure that's going to develop later on tonight on Friday night, okay, is going to be developing further east of where the model runs of both the GFS and Euro models showing right now. See here? And when it goes, it's going to propagate. That means that the snowfall totals are going to be less. That also means that this here, that means that the system itself, as you can see moving along, is going to bring less snow to these areas such as New Jersey, the Delmarva, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Boston, and on through Maine. Okay, so you're talking snowfall totals are going to be way down. We're talking 3 to 5 inches maximum, 3 to 6 inches maximum on Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket out that way. Okay. That's going to be the maximum, not the 12 inches that they're forecasting, because the low pressure is going to accelerate very fast here, okay? And that means that with the combination of the speed of the low pressure and the positioning of it further east than what's expected on this map here, both in the GFS and the ensemble models, okay? That means that it's going to be left with a deepening system of cold air and a lot of wind and no precipitation. As you see, following that, there's no precipitation following that Saturday night and the Sunday, of course, obviously, okay? It's all gone, and we're going to have more shot of reinforcing Canadian cold air here. As you can see, the coming in from the northwest, the vortex here, the polar vortex, a more reinforcing shot of cold air coming in here. How does it keep doing that? Okay, yeah, so that's what we're going to be experiencing here. So that's the GFS model. As you can see, we ran that model for you one more time here. The system is all long gone. Then we have another reinforcing shot of a little bit of snow and cold air coming in, building in throughout the rest of the model. Now, what can we expect after Winter Storm Kenon in the next weeks heading into February? Well, the first week of February looks to be very, very average. Okay, nothing, no huge box of cold air. What the pattern we've been seeing here is we've been seeing the same pattern here so far the winter. We have the ridge and then the trough in the east, right? Well, the first week of February looks to be more like the polar jet, the subtropical jet actually comes and moderates things, right? Comes up here, right? And then we're gonna have the jet stream is actually gonna retreat north, and that's gonna allow for warmer temperatures to flow, a southerly flow, and warmer temperatures to flow even into the northeast. Temperatures rebound back and average highs in the 30s and 40s, like average winter in February would be. So that's how around Groundhog Day. So we may have an early spring. Groundhog Day is February the 2nd, guys. Fox the Tiny Field. Check that out. We're gonna be talking about that more. So we may have an early spring to talk about here in terms of temperature anomalies, and but we still, I believe this winter we still have about 1 to 3 more shots of cold air and snowstorm chances. But this cold storm here, the system here, the sorry, the system here, like Winter Storm Keenan, as they call it, I guess you can call it that, Winter Storm Keenan, is just not going to be potent enough here. And we can check out the ensemble models here, the ESA models here, the EPS models, the HWARF model. I know people like these model runs here. But the thing is that what's going to make the difference is that with these temperature anomalies here, is that we just don't have the positioning of the low pressure right. The computer models is guessing is going to be off the shore there. You can see there it is developing right there. Okay, and I see watch as it rises to the coast. See, this and the two systems are going to phase together, which they are. Okay, to create the perfect nor'easter. But the nor'easter is going to be further apart, further away from the shore of the U.S. coastline. That's going to diminish the snow totals anywhere from, if you're anywhere from Morehead City, North, no, I'm sorry, from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, Norfolk, up through the Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Ocean City, up through southern New Jersey, New York City, Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, Massachusetts, Manchester, New Hampshire, in through Portland and Augusta, Maine, and Bangor, Maine, your snow totals are going to be diminished. Big time. Okay, most of y'all are gonna get a maximum of 6 inches of snow. There's no gonna be nobody with a foot of snow, anything like that with this system. This is gonna be a maximum of 3 inches of snow, 3 to 6 inches of snow east, way east of I-95 quarter. Anybody west of the 95 I-95 quarter, you get flurries to a coating of 1 inch, and that's it. And that's gonna be it with the system. You get a bunch of wind. The northwest winds will be howling about 20 to 30 knots of gusts to 40 knots. Okay, but that's pretty much it. You're just going to be a wind event for the majority of it. So you can see these tightly packed isobar lines. That's just a pressure gradient. It's going to be extremely high here, okay, between the high pressure diving in and the low pressure well off the coast of the Atlantic seaboard. So because of the pressure gradient, which we all know is going to be affected, those strong northwest winds are going to blow, and most of the precipitation is going to be offshore. It's going to remain offshore. That's my forecast. And you're only going to see 3 to 6 inches from Martha's Vineyard down through Nantucket, Rhode Island, up into Bangor, Maine. Those places, they're going to get to 6 inches. Everybody else, 3 inches or less. Maybe 3 to 6 inches in the Delmarva too, as well, because the low pressure wraps around. You may get some intensification, some sea enhanced or bay enhanced snowfall rates. In fact, kind of a bay lake effect. Okay, in the sense of that. Everybody else, west of 95, I-95, you're getting 1 to 2 inches minimum. A coating, that's it. It's going to be gone before everything gets settled in. It's too fast moving of a system. And like I said again, the low pressure is going to be deepening further east of the benchmark than what most people the models anticipate here. And this is what we're going to have to be dealing with. So this is the current setup once again. We have the current setup. Everything is quiet. Just a few snow showers lingering here around the Great Lakes and of course in the Mid-Atlantic and in the Ohio Valley here, a few snow showers. And that's been triggered by this clipper system here, if you will. Okay, this kind of trough or clipper system that's diving in. This is the leading edge of the colder air here. Subzero temperatures will be affected in Minneapolis, of course. They're used to that in the Dakotas. But you see the leading edge of the Canadian Arctic air coming in. That's going to set the stage as the low pressure is going to come in and ride there. So just want to give you the current update for the um, the system here, Winter Storm Keenan, once again.